Another one. Another one. Another one. Another one. Another one. And another one. And another one.
What? What the fuck? Hey, what's up guys? It's the Nightwing Way of Life Esports coming at you guys with another League of Legends video. Here to talk about the LCS Spring Split 2020 Playoff Recap Part 4. Yes, we are done with the LCS Spring Split 2020. It is over, and Cloud9 are your champions. It only was just yesterday. Everybody and their mom was talking about Sneaky's not here, so that means they're going to fail. Jack lost the offseason. Sven's a downgrade. Blabber's a coin flip player. Licorice and Snisky are snakes. And, well, Cloud9, after making some much needed changes, finally win their first title in 6 years. I can't tell you how happy I was that Cloud9 won the split. I watched every single game. Every single game beside Game 3 was pretty much a stomp. And even later on during Game 3, they still were the better team. And Cloud9 are your LCS Spring Split 2020 champions. I feel so happy to actually say that now again, because they actually played insanely well all split long. Teams are afraid to scrim against them. That should show you how strong they actually are. They are so strong that it's going to be really bittersweet that they aren't going to be going to MSI. One of our strongest teams, and them not going to MSI is pretty sad, all things considered. But to be fair, you know, this year, I think that it's really not the time to, you know, go and travel because of what's going on right now. But before we actually get to Cloud9 facing FlyQuest, we had EG versus FlyQuest first. FlyQuest's draft is Aatrox, Trundle, Victor, Aphelios, Blitzcrank. EG's is Orin, Graves, Zillion, Kalista, and Taric. Early on, Santorin ganks and puts the bot lane ahead. Ignar is choosing to play his hook champions more and more. He actually prefers the Blitzcrank more or less so too, and I personally think that's really good for him. We know that FlyQuest and EG really rely on comfort most of the time. Power of Evil, it chunks out Jizuke early on, but the Victor, though he is winning in CS, and which pretty much helps him out, EG does dive FlyQuest's bot lane, and actually gets 2 kills, which is good, all things considered. Kumo ends up dying in the top lane as well. Power of Evil gets a triple kill early on, and FlyQuest win in 26 minutes. Yeah, this was FlyQuest's fastest game of the split. Power of Evil was playing insanely well, and in Game 2, FlyQuest start to take a little bit more of an aggressive approach. They take Orin, Rek'Sai, Orianna, Xayah, and Rakan. EG take Aatrox, Kindred, Zoe, and Kalista Taric. They're choosing to run the same bot lane, and they're going to take the Aatrox matchup into Orin. Early on in this game, it's pretty much no different. They do get an early trade kill onto Ignar really early on when he phase checks, but then you can tell that FlyQuest are still the better team. They get a nice Orin knockup onto Bank under the tower, and then they kill him. You have Wild Turtle just popping off on the Xayah, and I think that is Wild Turtle's strongest champion all split long. You have Power of Evil killing Svenskeren super early on. Then he kills Jizuke under the tower. It's all FlyQuest in this game. And then later on, it is a 4,000 gold lead for FlyQuest. EG started to slump insanely hard during the series, and this is a complete 180 than the last time they faced. And FlyQuest had a chance to make a comeback in Game 4, possibly bring it to a Game 5. Not this time around. FlyQuest immediately show why they're the better team, and they start off with a 2-0 lead over EG. In Game 3, they start off actually pretty decent, all things considered. EG take Renekton, Gragas, Azir, Aphelios, Tahm Kench. FlyQuest take Orin, Nocturne, Corki, Kalista, and Pyke. Yeah, that is FlyQuest's most diverse comp all split long. They actually chose to take Orin, Nocturne, Corki, Kalista, and Ignar, which is actually insane. Early on, I think it was more or less so EG favored. They definitely played like they were going to win from all the early things they were doing. Svenskeren was pathing really well. Jizuke gets the early kills, and you know when he gets early kills, he definitely feels like he is in control. Svenskeren ends up later on getting a kill. He gets more dominance over Santorin. It was really weird seeing Santorin play Nocturne. You know, if C9's bringing out these pocket pick Nocturnes in the jungle for their aggressive jungler Blabber, would it work for Santorin? And I'm not really too sure if he played it exactly perfect, but it doesn't really matter though, since Garen ends up getting his team really far ahead. Later on, EG start winning in a lot of skirmishes. Jizuka get 2 more kills, and it's pretty much 3 kills for the Renekton for Kumo. And yeah, EG get the series going. They have a 10,000 gold lead at 20 minutes. This is actually their fastest game of the split as well. And they win and they crawl it back. It's 2-1 so far. And then the next game, in game 4, this is where the last series ended, which was in game 4 for EG previously. And in this matchup, you have Aatrox, Trundle, Corki, Aphelios, and Braum for FlyQuest. EG take Orin, Gragas, Azir, Misfortune, Yuumi. The Yuumi pick is starting to work out really well. Even last night, when I was actually playing some solo queue games, I seen a lot of people actually contest Yuumi. Yuumi is a really hotly contested pick right now through all the buffs she had been getting, and I'm not really too sure why people are still really leaving it open. It's a really strong pick, though it does rely on your ADC actually not being brain dead, but you could just latch on to other people anyway, so that doesn't really defeat the purpose of it. But FlyQuest start off with an early game lead. They have Wild Turtle on 2 kills on the Aphelios, and you know, if Wild Turtle is starting to feel himself, well, that means the game is going to go in his favor at some points. Then later on, Power of Evil starts getting 2 kills around 20 minutes in. It is a 5,000 goldie for FlyQuest. Later on, as the game pretty much ends, you have a team fight toward 37 minutes in. They end up getting Baron at some point for FlyQuest, and EG season is pretty much all but over. EG, looking at this split, I don't know if they'll be as strong for summer split, because they do show a lot of weaknesses, and I think they show a lot of weaknesses in terms of how they're exactly allocating who's going to be the carry. I think they have to decide who's going to be the primary carry of the team. FlyQuest ends up beating EG in a reverse way of the last time. They get the revenge against Evil Geniuses and book their ticket to face Cloud9 in the finals. Game 1 of the finals for Cloud9 versus FlyQuest. I actually thought that this was pretty close from FlyQuest. This was a pretty well-fought battle from them game 1. You have C9 taking Set, Kindred, Veigar, Misfortune, and Nautilus. FlyQuest take Orin, Pantheon, Azir, Aphelios, and Blitzcrank. Now, with that being said, we know that Niski loves to play that Veigar. We've seen him prop that thing out several different times. Even when he was back in EU, he played Veigar early on during the split against Team Liquid. He plays it against very key compositions that can't really deal with the Veigar cage, like a team that has to engage onto you. Veigar works really well into that. Early on in the game, Ignar gets a hook onto Vulcan, and that does, I'm sorry, not Vulcan. He gets a hook onto Blabber, which gives away first blood on FlyQuest's side. Later on during the game, it's back and forth team fights, actually. It's really, really close for a specific point in the game, while Turtle ends up getting caught out like he usually does and then gets blown up. Later on, Power of Evil is really strong in this game. His Azir was really doing a lot of damage. Later on, it's another back and forth team fight where Licorice is also insanely strong on his Set. Power of Evil dies in a team fight 26 minutes in. They kill Solo, and this is the C9 we were waiting to see. You have now a 3,000 gold lead. They end up taking Baron and end up in the strong position. They do have a really close team fight around 35 minutes in, where all of C9 dies except for Licorice, while Turtle gets instantly shut down to a point where I think a Veigar W finishes him off. And if he actually doesn't die, then that's Baron for FlyQuest. Yeah, that's Baron for FlyQuest if a W from Veigar actually doesn't land on Wild Turtle. It was actually insane how close this game was for a little part of it. I think this game was the closest of the 3 games. JTH thinks it was game 3. I don't really personally think game 3 was that close looking at both compositions. And I personally think that this is really good from Cloud9. They end up getting a Baron. They end up getting a really good team fight toward the very end. And then after that, you see them obviously going to game 2. And in game 2, there's not much to say here. This is a stomp. This is a clear-cut stomp. FlyQuest were inting their asses off in this game. I swear, at like it's around 10 minutes in, you see a top lane dive. And then, yeah, it's all over for them. Niski gets a double kill. Licorice gets 2 kills. Blabber gets 2 kills. Sven gets 2 kills. Yeah, they pretty much tilt off the face of the fucking earth in this top lane dive. Santorin and Solo dive a Set and a Gragas. What is wrong with you? It's 6-2, 10 minutes in. There's not much to say about the game too. It was a one-sided stop for Cloud9. Licorice was insanely strong this game, and Vulcan played so well that he actually was awarded MVP of the series. I was thinking that he was also the MVP by how he was playing. His hooks were on point. He was warding effectively, being where he needed to be, effectively setting up his team for victory. And then after that is Game 3. C9 are on match point, and again in Game 3, can FlyQuest find a comeback? Right here in this game for Game 3, Cloud9 take Aatrox, Jarvan, Rumble, Aphelios, and Thresh. FlyQuest take Orin, Pantheon, Syndra, and the Lovers Duo. You have to take the Lovers Duo for FlyQuest in this game because that's their strongest portion of what they can play for their bot lane. If they have the Lovers Duo, they do play a lot differently. They actually play so much more better when they're on Xayah Rakan. It's actually insane. I don't know if it's just the champions or it's just the players, but I do think they do play better when they have Xayah Rakan. I think that Power of Evil being on Syndra duty wasn't that bad for him because he can play obviously control mages super well. Now, Santorin being on Pantheon was a lot left to be desired. You had Solo playing insanely worse as the series went on. He didn't play too well in the EG series either. So I'm thinking for FlyQuest, if you want to run with this roster again, maybe Solo gets a lot better to a certain point where he's good enough to carry on this team. But if they can get another top laner, I mean, I'm not going to be opposed to that. And we know they're not going to get rid of Wild Turtle and Santorin, you know. So at that point, you're thinking to yourself, what can they really do to improve? I mean, this was a great split from FlyQuest. Getting second is nothing to be ashamed about. Anybody that says getting second means you're the first loser is a loser themselves because they have never achieved anything in their life. So that's going to obviously be something you don't want to really take too much into account. 6 minutes in, they equalize Wild Turtle and they obligatorily just end him and kill him. That means that this is all going C9's way, but it is rather even for this game, even if they do dive Wild Turtle and kill him, and they blow all his summoners, so you know he's not going to be as strong early on. If you put Xayah behind this early on, it's going to be really hard for her to really have that much of an impact later on. You have a team fight 27 minutes in. They kill Sven for FlyQuest, but then they kill Pantheon. They lay out the equalizer pretty much perfectly with the Jarvan Cataclysm. That leaves Licorice's Aatrox to basically get 3 of those Qs off, and getting 3 of those Qs off is insanely strong for Aatrox while he has the Death Dance, the Black Cleaver, and the Spirit Visage. They kill Solo, and then, yeah, C9 end the series 3-0, just like my G2 boys ended it 3-0. They play insanely well. This is their split to win, and they obviously showed it. Now, going into Summer Split, a lot of people are probably thinking, like, can they obviously dominate Summer Split as well? I think that they could win both splits, looking at it right now. I just don't think that they obviously know where to really put their better players in a lot of teams that are outside of Cloud9. I think that they're insanely strong, but to look at how Cloud9 has made themselves insanely strong with players that you didn't think was actually going to be that strong. I mean, Sven was looked at as a downgrade to Sneaky coming into the split. Vulcan was looked at as an upgrade over Zeyzal. Niski was still a pretty decent mid laner around, what, top 4, top 5. So you need him to actually improve. And Cloud9 win their first title in 6 years. I'm so proud of them. A lot of people gave me so much shit for saying that they need to replace Sneaky and that they obviously needed this big change. And hey, I was right about it. They needed a big change, and obviously after this big change, they definitely got the trophy that they all have been waiting for, and I'm so glad for them. And it kind of sucks that we're not going to have MSI because, you know, I would have loved to see this team play against G2 or T1 if they're going to go, or the best LMS team. You know, it leaves a lot to be desired. So hopefully next year for MSI, they let the winners from this year that didn't get a chance to go next year, along with the other team that may or may not be obviously first or second place. I don't know how well that's really going to work. I just think that it's a thing that you want to give back to this year because they didn't get a chance to go. And Cloud9 winning the split they did in dominant fashion, dropping 2 games all split. Remember, they dropped 2 games all split long. They only dropped 1 to TSM and 1 to EG. That's absolutely insane, obviously, how dominant they were, and I can't wait for them to win the next split. I think they can easily win 2 splits, and what would that be? Not only winning one final after 6 years, but 2 finals after 6 years. That'd be incredible. They would have 4 titles, and I'd be so proud of them and so happy if they got that title in summer. But this is locked a bit in the books. Cloud9 are the best team in North America, and they are the team to beat. And everybody who was a hater got the chance to shut up now, because and whoever left C9 when they kicked Sneaky, they definitely came back. I mean, a lot of people said, "Oh, now I'm back on the C9 train." Like, but you just left because Sneaky's gone. Like, what the fuck? They're like, fuck Sven. Sven was always better than Sneaky. Like, what are you talking about? They literally got an upgrade. But it's okay. See you guys later. Like, comment, subscribe, most of all, enjoy. I'm so proud of C9. Hashtag C9 win, baby. Let's get that title for the next split. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace out. Goodbye. See you guys later. Nightwing is signing out.
Hi there, guys. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel for more stuff.
Yeah, thank you.